So you may or may not have noticed that there's no Team Huntress logo on the intro any longer. And the reason for that is, well, there is no Huntress anymore. The good old Maycraft that come to love all these years is on its way to Florida with a new owner. I have to be honest, the biggest reason behind this is the state of North Carolina. I set that boat up to be a flounder boat, and I haven't been able to have a decent flounder season pretty much since I put the new engine on the boat. And I can't really use the boat for what I bought it for. So with that, I'm just going to stick to the old Mega Cat and change the YouTube channel to Team Mega Cat.
Howdy ho, people. Yet another day of spearfishing. Was not really planned to be a spearfishing trip, but sometimes when in Rome, do as the Romans do, so to speak. We had Rob, Susan, Beth, and we got a newbie in the back there. Right, Mr. Jason Smith, right?
No. First time in North Carolina.
Yeah, first time diving North Carolina, and he got to dive the Mount Dirfys, which few people get to do that because it's flat, calm, great day. You'll see in the video, but it was pretty badass. So overall, not huge fish today, but considering how many I shot at and missed, I'm happy that there's something on the table. So let's do it, people.
Somebody was a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, kid in a candy store. It was yeah. There's yeah. Just wait, you'll see. Oh.
So we're on the rainy day barge here, and it turned out to be a lot murkier than I expected. I thought the viz would be better, but it did give me the opportunity to play with my camera a little bit more. I have a new Mission 1, and the reason I bought it is to try to get better low light performance, especially diving in these kind of conditions where it's a little murky and got some green water going on. And if you remember from the last video, I tried to use the camera in dive mode, and it was horrible. It was all pixelated. It just was not doing well at all. So here I have it in regular dive mode, and then a little bit later I'm going to put it in low light mode. So you can tell me which one you think is better. Now there's fish all over this barge, man, and this time of year I'm surprised there's so many fish on it. Usually the gag have already moved off of it by now, but there's so many fish on it that it's messing with my depth perception. So you can see this gag that I want to shoot here, but there's fish all in front of it, and it's just messing with my depth perception. So every time I try to aim at it, the fish are in the way, and it's just messing me up. I forgot that I didn't put my line back on, so I was essentially free shafting and didn't realize it. And you saw what he did. He just turned himself right off the shaft. So it wasn't bad enough that the shaft pulled out. As soon as I look up, there's a cobia right there. I was like, I'm not ready for it. And I made a mistake here of trying to reload the shaft that I had laying there. I should have just grabbed the other shaft, threw it in, and pulled a band back, put the power head on, and popped it. But he didn't give me he didn't give me another chance anyway. One pass is all he made. So this is not the fish I shot, or one of the fish I shot. I saw that fish later on underneath the wreck, and I couldn't get to it. But this fish was just hanging out next to the wreck. I think the guys that were fishing on this before we got there, I think they caught this guy on a hook and line, and he was pooped. Because this is definitely not standard behavior for a gag. Again, you can see here how these fish are just messing up my aim. Every time I'm trying to line up here, I can't make out the fish. It's killing me. I did look for that gag, but I couldn't find him. He went deep down in the wreck. But it was time for us to start heading up anyway, so Beth is ready to go, and I spent a couple more minutes looking for that fish, but I couldn't find it.
But then it's like, unless you were like super deep, there never were any because people just pick the reef and wreck it.
I'm surprised that this had any on it, to be honest.
8 or 9 down there.
Yeah, but I only want 2 to 3 pounders.
There's big gags all over that thing. Like, I shot 3 gags and I don't pull off. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. That one was laying next to the wreck. There was something wrong with it. So this is actually the second dive on the barge. So if you look, I have it in low light mode now. You can kind of make up your own mind which one is better. I think low light mode is better. So tell us, Jason, where are we at today?
That there is the Mount Dirfys.
The Mount Dirfys. We're gonna ride up to it in just a second. You can look and see all the bait fish right here.
As soon as Rob is finished doing what he's doing, we'll ride over and look at it. But you can see, so what we're looking at right here, that long piece right here is the shaft log, right? So the stern's over there, that is the shaft log. Then right over here is the boilers, the engine, going all the way over toward the bow that way. Yeah, so this is the biggest part. You see those things that are light, that's the top of the boilers. There's grass growing on top of the boilers, so you can see the boilers. Yep, and look down and see the boilers. Okay. Yep, it's cool. In front of the boilers, and then in front of the boilers, right over here, is the bow. You ready? Okie dokie.
I mean, man, just check this out. This is like diving in the Caribbean, man. We're like maybe 30 feet of water, something like that. I mean, it's crazy. You know, we came through here earlier in the day, and let me tell you, it's rare that you can dive this wreck because it's shallow water right on top of the shoals, and you can only dive it when it's flat, calm, and there's no current, which in this location does not happen very often. I always go by the Dirfys when I'm going by the slough on my way over the shoals and check it out if it looks like it's calm. But most of the time, you know, it's too much surge. It's just too much surge, too much wave action. The viz is bad sometimes. You just usually can't dive it. But if you get the opportunity, you need to dive it because it is awesome. It's so much fun. It's like diving on a wreck in the Keys, man. And there's fish on it. Almost every time I'm on this thing, I shoot fish. Whether it be flounder in the sand, cobia up on the bow of the stern, or gags. So, and Jason, you know, came to tell me there's some big ones on the back, and there were. But I wanted to go to the bow because that is where I typically have shot my cobia at. So if you don't know anything about the Dirfys was on its way actually to Wilmington, Delaware, and the captain had never been on this side of the coast, I believe, and chose the wrong Wilmington on the map, and ran right up on the shoals, and that was in the 30s, and it's been sitting here ever since then. And to be honest, considering where it's at, it's in great shape, man. So I shot this gag on almost the very end of the wreck. This is the bow. You're looking essentially at the bow structure. If you swim around this piece of wreckage, that's pretty much the end of the wreck. So I skipped ahead. We left the bow and we swam back over the boilers, and this is the engine that you're seeing right here. So from here, we're going to swim over the engine, and then right there in front of us, you see that's the shaft that leads to the shaft log, and then to the rest of the stern. And when you get on the stern, you have a steering quadrant and some other things. So there were gags under here, and that's why I went under here, because I was hoping to get a shot off on one, but I saw a beautiful shell right here where this toadfish was, and you know, the wife loves shells, so had to get the wife a shell, man. So you're going to hear Beth kind of squealing at me here in a minute because she wants me to look in the shaft log up here. And she's right, there's big fish in there. Usually is. But in this case, it was a bunch of red snapper. I didn't see any big gags in there. And red snapper's not open, so I didn't bother with them. Although there was a couple gags if you look down there, but most of them were red snapper. So this is a little bit longer video. I usually don't show this much of any particular location. I just kind of give the action. But considering the, we don't get to dive this wreck very often, and some people will never get to dive it, I thought it'd be good to kind of show you a little bit more of the wreck. This is a stern that I'm swimming up on right now, and I'm swimming back toward the steering quadrant. And then go right over the end here, and that's where the prop is at. But it was an iron prop, so there's not too much of it left. This kind of just shows you how shallow the wreck is. You can see the wreck sitting right over there, kind of mounds up away from the wreck, and you can see the mega cat here is probably sitting in maybe 20 feet of water, something like that. It's crazy.
Woo, that is fun. Fun.